Okay, stream will start, and we have currently rabbitboy84 versus Syme. So let's see where this one goes. They just pinged me, so I'm going to let them know that I am good to go. Okay, well, let the games begin. Yep, we are currently live.
Cool. Hi, I'm Kesa.
He can be a bit cheesy.
What an interesting third round matchup we have here.
Yeah, it looks like people are starting to go with the new diagonal meta over here with the basically A1, B2, C3 transposition.
Yeah, it seems like a very low opening for Syme.
Yeah, well, he's not going to let him get away with that opening too long. He's going to see a capstone pop into there pretty quick. I wouldn't be surprised to see it on C3, but at the same time, that also opened up the possibility of them going north on E.
Yeah, this much fighting early on. I suspect a real quick cap. And there it is.
Yeah.
For the center board, it looks like.
The fun part about that is, yeah, basically they can run away there. And now if white manages to get D3, then black's going to be in some trouble for a while. So if I were black, I'd get something on D3 pretty quick.
I'm not sure it's the best opening though, because it doesn't really help you actually run along the 2 line, given that A1's still there.
Yeah.
And it just reduces your board position, I feel like. Sure, you've got a nice 3 line, but it's a nice 3 line that's almost completely surrounded, or 2 line, almost completely surrounded.
Yeah, which I have a feeling Syme's going to take control of momentum here within a few turns. Just because that isn't a strong enough threat, really, to do much of anything there.
Opening game, you have to use that wide open space to your advantage.
Yeah, instead of getting pulled into basically a single vector threat on 1 and 2 that already has half the edge that you're aiming for blocked. I mean, probably the best thing white could do right now is to try and play up C and try and get some type of second momentum going, otherwise they're in for it. And Syme is not someone you want to try and play single threat chicken with.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't think it's entirely necessary yet, but I see what they're doing.
It's the early game. Now, if there was ever a chance to do something like that, it's here.
True.
He's already got significant board control with only 4 pieces on the board, really. 3 squares controlled.
Yeah. Turning into capture war this early might not be the best idea. Though again, I would make dead sure that they can't get hold of D2.
Yeah, I'd almost say a cap on D2 right now for white would be big.
Yeah, which is why black should immediately take d2 back. I mean, whenever a space is open, you have to consider what happens if your opponent manages to place back in it.
Yep.
And in this case, that would be fairly catastrophic to black's board position. It would lock the cap over there, and it would force him to do some more self-capturing to try and fight it. Whereas placing black flat opens the possibility of them leaving liabilities there on d2 to capture it.
I'd almost argue a wall for black on d2 from Syme would be hilarious. It would block out all white's early game threats.
True. The question is if you can get away with the flat right now or not, because that also gives him a potential threat going up D. So I can see where you're coming from, though, on that.
I think walls are easily the most underappreciated piece in this game.
True. Well, in my case, if I can manage to get a flat down, I'm probably going to use a flat just because it gives me some extra momentum to use. A wall I'm going to use to either try and raid back some of my pieces or absolutely shut something down. So if I think I can get away with it, I'm probably going to play it flat.
Yeah. Walls have a tendency to entirely break momentum in weird ways. Ooh, now that's an interesting choice.
It's a bad choice, what it is. I mean, he basically relegated his capstone to the corner there.
Yeah, but the cap's gonna move on to that flat stack almost certainly.
Well, here's the problem. D1, D3 minus. Now the capstone has a problem.
There's D1.
I mean, unless they're trying to go up E, in which case they're going to find out very quickly that, that entire threat's going to be decimated in a couple of turns as well. But yeah, just because you want to keep that area secured.
I'd almost argue move the cap over, but it looks like he's playing F3. Okay, so now he has pretty decent connections to both the walls there.
Yeah.
Spread in any direction he wants. With an open board, that's huge.
Yeah, the problem is you still have that capstone on E2, which can do something to it.
Yeah, it cuts off one of your two threats.
True, but in sixes, if you only have one threat, it can be dismantled fairly quickly, so... Unless you get lucky or you happen to do that little short stack throw thing. Oh, those are beautiful. You should try them sometime. They're great fun.
Oh, I'd love me some stack throws.
Especially when you get rage messages right afterwards, like, what the blankety blank was that?
I think Rabbit Boy needs to play the broader board right now. I think he just needs to get flats down other places.
Yeah. Well, I think he's pretty much sold himself to this entire threat area, so I think he's going to end up paying for that here in a few turns. Let's see here, C3, A2.
I feel like Syme might go for the C4 here.
It is a rather explosive move.
Just gonna block off that threat as strongly as he can. Ooh, I feel like that's a mistake. Now any response from Syme honestly makes Sym's board position stronger.
Yeah.
because a response, say, at b3, now
Yeah.
that's 2 moves from game.
Yeah.
It's also 2 moves from game.
Yeah, I kind of like b3 better, though.
Yeah, b3 was what I would have put.
But it still works.
Yep.
The funny
At the
thing...
very least, Rabbit has the north-south threat mostly blocked off for the moment.
Yeah.
Flat count currently 6-5 in favor of Syme.
Yep, looks like they're gonna block that off a bit.
Yeah, about what I was expecting. That's why that's one of many reasons b3 seemed better there.
Yeah. Oh, just gonna go for the throw then.
Interesting.
Well, that just basically invites him to play d3 and start moving north.
Yep. I'd almost say let Rabbit take d3. Maybe even put a wall down on d4 just to make the capstone have to use an extra turnout and just run north on b.
Yeah, I almost think that you could just go ahead and run north on B and ignore it, because you're one turn of momentum ahead anyways.
It's very true.
The problem with ignoring threats, though, is that if you ignore them for too long, they have a bad tendency to come back in a pretty little thing called Tinue, which I've learned the hard way more than once.
Yeah, I think I'd block it off.
Yep, you could just play flat on d4 as well, and then threat attack.
A flat on d4 also builds that diagonal road down from a1 to f6.
Yeah.
Huh, running on the c line. It does put a little more pressure against the d run.
Yep. It also gives an option to go left to B and start building that up if there are captures that start happening.
Yep. Again, I think a wall would be big here for Rabbit Boy. Just block off that threat, make either the capstone move around or... Ooh, wall down there. See, I think a wall that has to capture to be threatening is a little too slow here.
Yeah. Which, what I'd be tempted to do right now is d4.
Yep.
Just
D4.
because you could have a2 plus.
Yeah, and the wall would have to move b1 plus.
Yeah.
Which is easily just crushed by that capstone.
Yeah. was certainly thinking about this one.
Yeah, I think they might actually run into some time issues this game.
By the way, so you know, they can't exactly squash that wall.
Oh, yeah, I see.
That's curious.
I like that.
Oh.
Rabbit Boy would have to place with 2 immediate recapture options from Syme.
Yeah, but to be fair, it also doesn't invoke them capturing and leaving liabilities on the board. And right now, the only liabilities are under that capstone. So sometimes it might be a little bit better to leave stones where they'd have to be captured. That way it starts eating at the road threat and some of its reinforcements.
True enough. But say Rabbit Boy places almost any stone. Yeah, D4. I think
Yeah.
E3 left would be interesting here. Forces Rabbit Boy to either move the cap or place a wall.
Well, he placed a wall, he'd lose.
Oh, yeah.
Because it can capture down, that's an immediate win. Well, there's tech threat number 1.
I think if Rabbit Boy moves his wall, I think Syme starts playing, just making a new connection to the A side of the board.
Yeah.
Just starts playing east-west instead.
Yep, the problem is that it sacrifices one of its vectors, so if he can manage to get it back, that'd be great, but at this point he still has something he can use to bludgeon him with in the meantime. I mean, it's nice to have both the threats, but sometimes that isn't practical, so you have to go with what you got and try and make another one from there.
Yeah, I just think the 1-2 lines, even the 3 line, are just too jumbled to make north-south especially viable.
Yeah. Yep, so he's going to go and go with this, and then we might see an E5 response, and then an A2 plus response to that. I think we're going to see the capstone get active in this fight here pretty quickly.
Yeah, Rabbit Boy's capstone could do interesting things, but only if he doesn't let it get too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think A2 plus is going to be a big move at some point in this later game.
Yeah.
Reopening both a north-south and an east-west threat.
Yeah, you still have that wall there, and you don't exactly want to invite it left, so the north-south threat might be a little bit dangerous, but the east-west would definitely start getting some traction. I just want to keep that wall away from A3. I mean, one of the potentially cheekier moves is taking 2B2 to the right and then threatening just to run over his entire threat area there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how well it would work, but it would pin the capstone and it would make it kind of annoying to get the threat going again. Okay, so E5 like we thought on there.
Yep.
So we could see A2 plus, which is going to threaten D5 minus for a game.
Yeah, I think Rabbit Boy needs to be more on damage control than he is right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we might see the A2 north.
Would that be... No, because there's still those captures.
Yeah, but
It looks
A2
like it
north,
could be a sequence.
you can maybe white place a stone there.
Well,
E4 goes
A2,
north.
well, A2 north, if white places anything, they lose. Because remember, D5 minus.
Yep.
And if they only block up there, then you have the vertical threat, which is still present, and then A2 played is a win as well. So they're going to have to attack C3, which is going to lead to B4, which is going to lead to a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, this is going to start a very interesting capture war here for the next about 10 turns. And it looks like they are having none of that.
Okay. How do you feel about D4 right now?
Debating. I mean, it doesn't have that vertical threat anymore, but it'd still be...
You could...
I'm not sure.
It just takes a single capture in a couple different directions, and then it's got the vertical threat again.
True, I'm just trying to think this one through, and I'm not sure exactly what I think quite yet. But at very least, it throws apart the potential Tenue sequence that we might have seen there.
Haha. Maybe just run along the 5-6.
Well, yeah, that is an option.
I was thinking that earlier. Is like, ooh, that would just take too long. But there it is now.
Well, to be fair, they've given up enough momentum that it is an option now. The only problem is that white again can get D4 back here.
Yep. Do you think Rabbit Boy might be trying to set up for a sneaky cap throw either north or west?
Well, he doesn't have enough pieces on either of the opposite edges to really sustain it, so I'm not sure if it No, I'm not seeing it working too well. Because the problem is with any throws from that cap is that you immediately open up those 3 pieces below it to liability. So that's one of the things you want to use the finishing move instead of as a setup.
Yep.
Because if black manages to get those captures, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe if white gets f5, there's an opportunity to throw the c4 stack. I'm just looking for ways that white has out of this game.
Possibly, yeah.
They seem few and far between, though.
Yeah, white needs to get some established threats going pretty quick, otherwise they're in trouble.
Yep, there's that f5. I think that's the direction he's trying to move.
Yep. I'm betting on b4.
I think the really silly thing here would be e6 minus as attack threat.
Is it though?
Yep, connects the f3 all the way over to a5.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I would over there. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
It's a silly one for sure.
Yeah.
I think Syme might be debating right now whether to make the threat a little more obvious by playing a5.
Well, b4 also introduces a potential vertical in the next couple of turns.
Yeah, it's a little slower, but I think a little safer.
Yeah.
Because again, a d4 placement by black. It's still big.
Yeah.
d3 right for white is not an immediate loss, and then gives the option to throw the c4 stack to the right for game.
Yeah, the problem is with those ones you have to be careful because if you make a move that looks odd, they're going to start looking for it. If you make a move that looks normal and you happen to have that stack, that's how you really get people.
Yep. I mean, that move would block off the east-west road. At least for a turn or two.
Yeah, Yeah, the fun part though is that black would end up winning that capture war and be able to throw any direction they want. With 3 blacks.
See, I don't think black wants to try that capture war over on the right side of 3-4.
Yeah.
I think that connection to the wall is too strong.
Well, more along the lines of the capture war, they'd be on E3 if white did the D3 right.
Yeah, see, I think black getting involved in that capture war would just open too many flat placements for white.
Yeah.
Which would make a strong F line for white. Rabbitboy starting to run pretty low on time. Just about 3 minutes, 15 seconds left.
Should we start calling Turtle Boy?
He's just taking a nap.
Well, it looks like he's gonna go with your fun bit.
Haha.
I don't think Syme's having any of that.
You could add there, you don't think what?
I was saying I don't think Syme's having any of that.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah, well, there could be F4 and then that throw again.
Yep. Yeah, it's still an option. Because Syme didn't connect to the A line yet, it's opened up a few very small opportunities for Rabbitboy.
Yeah.
I still think A5 is the better move than a B4.
Okay, so I'd be tempted to do A2 plus right now.
And there it is.
Because if they happen to drop that wall, it's game.
Yep.
I mean, I think the only move is C4 to the left right now, which is immediately going to earn placement right behind where it was left off. Are you seeing anything other than C4 left that block this? Because the cap throw would immediately open up a couple of black pieces so they could complete road with E4 minus, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, not sure I'm seeing anything huge. Yeah, that was one of the ones, but an A2 placement here is just so big.
Yeah. The problem is it opens it up to the wall, and then A3 is vulnerable now. And the question is there any other attack threat they could make right now? That doesn't viciously endanger their position.
D4 is an interesting attack threat for Syme.
Yeah, so they're gonna go with that, and then the wall's gonna come left, probably.
Syme might just play a flat at B2 then.
Yeah. Yeah, the question is what tack threats can he also make that aren't going to invite white to put his capstone back in the middle of the game?
Yep.
And it's
He might want
interesting.
white to move his capstone in and just run along the B line.
Yeah, it is a possibility.
Sacrifice his whole D through F lines and just get a huge line of black running up AB.
Interesting.
Sim doesn't want any of my shenanigans. That move seems very slow to me, though.
Yeah.
Unless he's just playing for flats right now.
Well, there's one other thing he could be playing for. Because Rabbit Boy is going to take a bit to think about this, isn't he?
What are you looking at?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Time. Of course. My game yesterday, we were getting around 10 seconds on the clock. It was very frightening.
Yeah. Well, I could just put a black wall there and shut down that entire area.
Ooh.
What is he doing?
He's trying to make that big stack, throw it over to the right. I think it's risky, though. I think it gives white too much.
Yeah, because F4 plus, F6 minus, either one of those, it doesn't have enough reach to get it. That too.
Ha ha ha. How many moves away is Sim on a north-south threat? Looks like 2.
Yeah. I mean, if he's lucky, Rabbit Boy's going to not notice how low his time's getting right now because he's coming close to 30-second mark.
Oh, I think Rabbit's well aware.
E5, E5, E5. Okay.
Yeah, recapturing those white stones could be very big.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that Syme could do right now is start making his own tack threats as fast as possible.
Yeah, and if C2 gets moved over, maybe the cap just gets moved down. Wall in there wouldn't be the end of the world. Be a minor inconvenience. Ooh. Starting to take over those flats with that wall.
Okay, so you have that throw, so tack threat is back. Wall can move over once more safely.
Is that enough time?
option for C2.
E5 right for Rabbit Boy, assuming he gets the time.
Yeah, Syme's gonna have to keep him intact, or Syme's gonna have to do something. Oy. No.
I don't know, the wall recapture on that, maybe then Syme plays a wall, F5.
Yeah, and then runs left and takes out his entire threat. And then gives Rabbit, well, a very good portion of his threat. Because if he throws it left, then he ends up getting a huge flat gain as well, and an immediate attack threat.
Yep.
Let's see here, so if he threw this, then that'd be 1.
So E4 minus maybe? Actually opens up that attack threat from on the 3 line.
Yeah.
Could be big.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I'd throw it south and get whatever flats you can out of this.
And get attack threat back too.
Yeah.
Gain a little momentum.
9
seconds
8,
though.
7. Okay, that's interesting. The problem is F3 left.
I think you just take it with E2, and then if they throw a wall down, you just put your cap on it.
Yeah.
I think Syme's made some serious misplays given how much time he's had.
Yeah.
Yep, E2 north. It better happen in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah. Leave time alone for now until he gets under 5. Oh. Problem is that runs north. Yep. Response is that entire stack runs south.
Syme should take plenty of time to think here.
What did he do? C2. Okay, so he's gonna go back with attack threats then.
Use momentum while you got it, but I think Rabbit Boy, yep, moves that wall over. There goes momentum.
I mean, there could be a capstone throw up to that wall to hit that, and then potentially just spread over his entire stack over there as well.
Is it fast enough, though?
Not really. The question is, though, at this stage, if he can get Rabbit Boy to think for longer than he needs to.
Hopefully Rabbit Boy's already planned out for this contingency.
Yeah. C2. I would have left one of the whites on there and just gotten on top of that.
Yep, that's probably how I would have thrown it too, but then another wall from black on F5 would have...
Yeah, the problem with that is capstone goes on top of it now.
Yep. Or, hold on. Yeah, ooh. That's big. It looks like they're tied on flats right now.
So we have E5 left. And then try and run it up there into the corner.
Yeah. Good for Rabbit Boy. He can just move 6 pieces off that and still have the white exposed.
Yeah.
I think recapture that, get the flat count back.
Yeah, you could throw the wall on top of it.
Oh, the wall throw is very interesting.
Yeah, the problem is he only has one turn to do that in before it gets back over there. Yep. And if he manages to get a second wall on F5, it's basically over.
Oh, wait. Oh man, that capstone might start doing interesting things. But it would leave so much of that stack left.
Yeah, I mean, if he can bait... that'd be too dangerous. Yeah, I'd throw the wall on top of F5 and then capture that while there's still pieces there. Either that or I consider walling that right now just to make sure that black can't exactly get away with this. At A4, that is.
And there's that A5 placement. I don't like it. I think it's way too slow.
Well,
Is Rabbit Boy just playing for flats right now?
he's gonna have to be careful with where he puts it. No, I think he's actually trying to regain some time.
Haha! He does have a minute left on the board now. That's good. Okay, there's that connection. Now it's real threatening. Maybe just throw down a flat on B6.
this option for flat c6 or c5 as well.
Cut it down over there. Interesting.
Honestly, I would capture immediately down with c3 and just throw right over their entire run. Actually, where are we in flats? 5, 5, 2, 12, 5, 8. Ooh. Yeah, Syme has a huge flat advantage here.
At the moment, yes.
Unless white does something about this, they're in for it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could bait with f5 up and hope they move the wall left, and then that's game. But I doubt they're that lucky. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's game. Oh.
Oh.
God. Don't do that. Sheesh. Do not like. Do not like. Hi.
But I like the move.
I could do without these time constraint things again.
Maybe just move the cap over again.
Well, they move the cap over, they lose. 3, 2. Oh, nope, that's game.
That time pressure.
Yeah, time pressure
Killer.
will get you every single time on that. I'm gonna go ahead and deafen and cut off stream 1 just because this one's running a bit long. Okay, that's into game 1, and we'll be right back with game 2.